Friends Man vs. Wild began in 2006, but 10 years before that, in 1996, Bear Grylls was on vacation in Africa with his army friends. They went to Zambia for skydiving. Bear already had a lot of experience with parachuting. He had jumped from airplanes many times before, so everything was going according to plan. One by one, his friends jumped out of the plane. Then Bear also wore his parachute and leaped. The moment he jumped, he started falling at the speed of 200 kilometers per hour. 15,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 5,000 feet. Within seconds, he was just 3,000 feet above the ground. He pulled his parachute, but even after opening, his speed did not slow down. He was still rushing towards the ground. Bear looked up at his parachute, and what he saw terrified him. The parachute hadn't opened properly, its cords were tangled. That's why the speed wasn't reducing. He tried to pull the ropes quickly, but by then he was too close to the ground. He crashed into trees and fell on his back with a violent impact. He says it felt like someone had smashed a rock into his spine. Even after falling from such a height, he was conscious, but he couldn't move. He lay there crying, hoping someone would come and rescue him. The pain was so unbearable that he thought maybe death would be better. But death didn't come. After hours of suffering, his friends reached him and rushed him to the hospital. Bear says the pain was so much I kept fainting again and again. When doctors examined him, they gave the devastating news. Bear, 3 bones of your spine, T10, T8, and T12 are broken. These are the strongest bones of the human back, and now they are shattered. You will never walk again. Hearing this at just 21 years of age, his world collapsed. The man who climbed mountains couldn't even walk to the bathroom anymore. Falling from the parachute didn't hurt as much as lying in that hospital bed for a year. At night, he couldn't sleep. Anxiety, depression, and fear gripped him. He cried, blamed himself, and thought everything was over. Then one day, his eyes fell on a picture of Mount Everest hanging on the wall. He and his father once dreamed of climbing Everest. At that moment, Bear made a promise to himself. Not only will I walk again, I will climb Mount Everest. That picture changed his life. His grandmother's words also echoed in his mind. Son, everything happens for good. Bear realized, I could have died, I could have lost my legs or eyes, but only 3 bones broke. Maybe God has a better plan for me. When this positive thought entered his heart, his stress and negativity started to fade. First, he healed his mind. Slowly, his body began to heal too. Months later, he left the hospital, though doctors told him he could never return to the special forces. He resigned from the army. No job, no income, and for climbing Everest, he needed 50 lakh rupees, which he didn't have. He wrote letters to 250 companies asking for sponsorship. Everyone refused. Finally, one company saw his passion and agreed to support him. April 1998, Bear and his team began climbing Mount Everest. He fell into an ice hole but was saved by a rope. He got injured but didn't stop. A deadly storm threatened to end their expedition, but luckily it turned another way. After 17 hours of non-stop climbing on May 16, 1998, at just 23 years old, only 18 months after that horrific parachuting accident, Bear Grylls stood on the top of the world, on Mount Everest. It wasn't easy. 4 people lost their lives during that expedition. Bear himself narrowly escaped death twice, but he made it, and from there his story spread. He became famous. Documentaries were made, and eventually Discovery Channel gave him Man vs. Wild. Years later, someone asked Bear to does that accident still hurt? He posted a photo and wrote, yes, I feel pain every day, but what can I do? Every person must fight their pain, and I'm grateful that life gave me another chance. 2 lessons from this story. Lesson 1. Life is a precious gift. Bear could have spent his life blaming himself and cursing his accident, but instead, when life hit him, he hit back harder. Remember, life doesn't knock you down to destroy you. Pain doesn't come to break you. It comes to make you stronger. Growth always hides behind discomfort, so welcome it. Lesson 2. The secret is simple. Keep going. Bear promised himself that he would live without fear. Brave people aren't those without fear, but those who face fear, fight it, and keep moving forward. Friends, you only have one life. Don't just play safe. Don't just survive life to win. Challenge yourself. Do something new. Learn something new every single day.